Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Higher View. I'm Pastor Malcolm,
And I'm Alicia.
and we are here on the Higher View. And we are tired, but we're gonna press through this. We are. I think I'm like ready for Thanksgiving to already be here, and so I need to like focus up, do my job today, and we will. We'll have Thanksgiving when it's ready and it's time.
That's right. Food's still cooking. So, prep's still happening. You're not quite there yet. I don't smell the turkey.
What do you look forward to at Thanksgiving?
I look forward to not having to go to work.
Mm,
That's one of the main things I look forward to. Something else I really do look forward to every year is watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
mm.
I always like doing that. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I think it's really just like the food and just the relaxation, like you said. Like it's you're gonna eat, and then for us we end up watching the football games and just kind of hang out. But it's a real just like relaxed day, and then like you say, Friday is normally we don't work or anything, so it's kind of a
Yeah.
you're going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday of just kind of relaxing. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dish?
Oh, my favorite dish is pumpkin pie.
Ooh, I think mine is, man, I love it all. Probably I guess the apple pie. I guess it's the thing that finishes it off. It's the apple
Yeah,
pie.
the icing on the cake or
Yeah.
the Cool Whip on the pie. Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say cherry, but then I was like, no, because I don't like cherries. But
Yeah, me neither.
well, we thought we would do just a quick higher view tonight. As everybody's getting ready for the Thanksgiving and stuff. But we wanted to talk about something that Paul says in Philippians, and he talks about he learned to be content. And so we were thinking about it, and we were just kind of talking it over, and we just kind of had a good conversation. We thought we would bring it to y'all. So, Alicia, what does it mean to be content?
So the definition that we saw that we liked,
Mhm.
and I'm going to quote it from this blog that we saw it from. It says, "Biblical contentment is an inward trust in God's sovereignty and goodness that produces the fruit of joy, peace, and thanksgiving in the life of a believer, regardless of outward circumstances."
um,
Yeah.
which as we've been looking at it and I've been studying it, I realize there's definitely areas that I'm not content in, and I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
why I'm struggling in areas and stuff. And so this has definitely been an eye-opening thing to me, and as I hope it's going to be for y'all, and God's going to show you how to get through this. But yeah, um, what was it? The inner,
Mm. It's the inward trust in
the
God's
inward trust.
sovereignty and goodness.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I realized I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
okay. I guess in that area, I am struggling because I don't have that inward trust in Him, and so
Yeah.
this has been pretty cool to look at what uh, contentment means and why is it so important, which we've kind of already talked about a little bit, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, contentment is so important because, what was that scripture you were gonna read about?
oh yeah, in
Peace.
Proverbs, the heart, our hope deferred makes the heart sick, and it's talking about when you have these, you want this, you're waiting for it, and it doesn't happen. It can make you sick. We've seen a lot of Christians who prayed for healing and it didn't come, and they walk away, or the financial troubles, or marriage, and you're hoping and things are changing and it doesn't change, and ends up making them just give up on God, stop trusting Him, and that. And so um that's why learning to be content is very important, so you don't get to that place where you end up walking away from everything and losing what God has for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do kind of a little spoiler, I guess, but, if you think about Paul, when he wrote, oh, I don't remember which book of the Bible it was, but he wrote a book of the Bible and he was in prison. He was in jail. And
Philippians.
Philippians. And so whenever he was there, just recently I saw a worship leader had gone to Rome, and they actually saw the last prison that Paul was in and shared the video of it. And it was just so humbling in a way, to see that he's writing about being content in prison.
Yeah.
And this prison is like underground. It is dark. It is wet. It is like you're in a rock. It's like it looks like you're in a cave. And so to think about writing about being content when you're there,
Yeah.
not knowing if you're going to be put to death on false allegations,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, my problems are definitely not,
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. It's going to be okay. If God can take care of Paul, he can take care of me. He can take care of you, especially in those type of situations. So, it's just mind blowing. And so, yeah, we have to remember how good God is.
Yeah, you're talking about that in Philippians in the beginning. It talks about rejoice always. Again, I say rejoice, and it's like, wait, what? You're locked up in prison, and you're telling
Right.
everybody rejoice
Right.
always. Again, I say rejoice. Like if you didn't get it the first time, I'm telling you again to rejoice. And then
Always.
and then we get to later. He says, and I think it was verse 12. Where he talks about learning to be
Mhm.
content and all that. And he talks about how he's like, he's learned to be with empty stomach, full stomach,
Right.
having enough, not having enough. He's learned to be content. And I think some people think contentment means just settling. And
Yeah.
so you're like, oh, well, life sucks, so I'm just going to be content and just be. And it's like, no, that's not what God meant by being content, or
No.
what Paul's talking about there about being content. It goes back to what you're saying. It's an inner trust in God. And so if you're just saying, well, I'm content, I'm just going to stay in this bad place, I'm just going to, keep this bad job, my marriage is just going to never get better, this and that, like I'm just content. That's not what he was talking about. And so,
No.
um, I love, like you said, and Paul's just a great example because Paul had been stoned and beat and, like you said, lied upon, ran out of town, shipwrecked, and just like one thing after another. And he's saying, hey, I still learned to be content. And so,
Yeah.
like you said, if he can say that and write this while he's in jail in this dark prison and telling us to rejoice, we can figure out how to do it too. And it takes us getting our eyes off the stuff,
Yeah.
because really what we're getting to, like you said, we keep fast forwarding, but it's selfishness. If you break it down, kind of like opposite of being content, it's being selfish, and you start realizing that you're not trusting God, and you're being selfish, and you want more of this and more of that, and because if we read there in Philippians 4. Paul says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need. Thank him for all he's done. Then you will experience God's peace, which
Mm.
exceeds anything that we can understand. His peace will guard our heart and minds, and you will live in Christ Jesus. And, when I look at that, it's like he's saying to pray. He's saying to ask for things. So he's not saying you're not going through anything. He's not saying you don't need anything. But he's saying you got to go to God for it first. And then when
Right.
you go to God, you'll get that peace. And so this, like I said, this has just been real eye-opening to me on so many different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff going on where it's like, okay, I need to learn how to be more content right now, And if you think about it, we are like naturally, the flesh is not content. It is selfish. We're born into this world with a selfish nature. And so you have to learn to be content, and the way you learn to be content is by learning, getting in the word and learning who God is and developing that trust. You get to know someone. The more you get to know someone, the better you get to know someone, the more you trust them. Same thing with God. The more you know him and the better you get to know him, the more you're going to trust him with your life, because newsflash, spoiler alert, he has great plans for your life.
Yeah.
It says that also in his word, that
Yeah.
he's got a plan for you, and that, you've got to trust him. And so when you look around at your circumstances and they're not where you think they should be, or they're not where you thought you would be at this point, you've got to trust that God has good things in store, and that he can and that he will turn this around and use it for his glory if you will allow him to. So, that's probably one of the best ways to that's the reason why we need to be
Yeah.
content. And the best way is just to learn more about God and to learn how to trust him. And you've got to let things go and trust him with your circumstances, because his plan is going to be better than yours anyways.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that one of the key things that or one tool that we could do is to thankfulness.
Yeah.
Man, living a life of thankfulness will cut out all your problems pretty much.
Yeah.
Being just so thankful of, first off, that we're saved. So that's just the greatest thing. If we get nothing else, then
Yep.
that's fine right there. When you know that you've given your life to Christ and your name's in that book, and um, you're going to have, like, what Jesus did on the cross, like,
Right.
that's more than enough right there. But then you
Yeah.
start looking at the other stuff, like, man, I'm thankful for my vehicles and all the other, like, just little stuff that I have. I have, right now I can see four headphones. I have four different headphones on my desk right now. Like, well, that doesn't even make sense, like, just, we don't realize how blessed we are, how
Right.
favored we are, how God has really provided and taken care of us. And so um that thankfulness, man, you have to get that in your heart. We like
Yeah.
to ask Leonidas, what's one thing you're thankful for as we're taking them to school. And it really, especially in the mornings that we're running late and we're frustrated and he's getting sad or whatever. And then, we ask him that, it normally always shifts us, or shifts him, his perspective, okay, to think about God and what we're thankful for. And it really helps us out.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Sometimes whenever I get in those things where it's like, I am not content, I like to go outside if
Mhm.
I'm able, and look at the birds, or look at the sunset or the sunrise, or just the green grass, or we live out in the country, so the cows across the street, that.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I get to enjoy God's creation and the beauty that he's put around me. Even if the grass is dead outside in the middle of
Mhm.
summer because we're in a drought, I'm still thankful that I am able to see far, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a gazillion things. I mean, you could ask me what I'm thankful for, and I mean, if I really thought about it, once you start thinking about
Yeah.
it, like, I mean, it just, a snowball effect happens, and you're just like, wow, I have so many things that I could be thankful for. And it really, really does shift your perspective, and just, it does something, man, inside of you. And
Yeah, because even when, if you would say, like, something you're having an issue with, or problem, say your marriage,
right,
there's been times that, I've been upset with Bianca, and I'm
right.
just, but if you take the time, okay, what am I thankful for of her?
Yeah,
And then
it's
you, like
that.
you said, if you start listing stuff off,
Yep.
your perspective will be changed to not just look at that area that's upset, the area that's bothering you, the area that may need to change, it may needs to be fixed.
Right.
But if you look at the other stuff you're thankful for, it will help you last. It'll help you not walk away, run away from, and it'll give God the chance, it'll give the person a chance to change.
Yes.
It gives God a chance to work if you, just don't look
Mhm.
at the bad and just be like, okay, and just leave. And so it's like, no, I am thankful for my kids, they're not sleeping right now, and it's real crazy in my house.
I
There's a
know.
lot of screaming going on,
Yeah.
but I am thankful. I'm learning from my kids, and so
Right.
um, it's helped me not go crazy. It's helped me not to just blow up
Yeah.
uh, and lose it, because even before we were gonna record, and Jordan's
Yeah.
just screaming, and I'm just sitting here just quiet and just like,
Hmm. He was. I can vouch.
and I walked out there, and I just looked at him, and I just didn't scream, and I stayed calm, and I wanted to just be like, dude, chill out, like.
Yeah.
And come to find out, he was screaming about a little plushie toy or something. He was just like, what, like, but. But like you said, we're sitting here talking about being thankful, and I'm like, okay, I'm thankful for my kids. I'm
Yeah.
thankful for my wife. I'm thankful, and sometimes you may say, well, I don't feel like it. Keep speaking it, and you'll start realizing it is truly inside of you. You really are thankful a lot of times, and like we said, that selfishness is just rises to the top.
Yep.
Our flesh is always going to be pushing for us, and
Yep.
but the new man, the spirit that's inside of us, is love, and love is sacrifices. The love looks out for other people. Love is, we could get into all what love is, and so in that, we're able to be content. So you got
Yeah.
anything else?
Just in all of your circumstances,
Oh,
finances, your health, your job, your coworkers, your, extended family. I mean, you can go a gazillion different places with that, but being
in the
thankful,
government.
the government, yes, I
I,
mean, everything,
I've seen so many people just so
oh gosh.
discontent with our government and stuff, and it's like, yeah, some of that stuff is bad and evil and all that, like, but it's literally ruining their life. They're so sad and depressed and angry, and just like um and like you said, it's in all areas. He learned to be content, so you
Yeah,
can learn to be content in
yeah,
everything.
you can.
Sorry, I
You
jumped in
can.
there.
Yeah, no, that's good. Politicians are not our savior. You
Amen.
know, they are not the government is not our source. God is our source. And
Mhm.
so as you learn more about him, the realization will come to you and be like, oh, and as you step out in that faith and step out in that trust, God's going to meet you there and show you and prove to you that, yes, I am what you need. I am all you need. I have everything that you need. So yeah, we have a lot to be thankful for. So I
Yeah.
just encourage you. I like that, Malcolm. I think I'm going to start doing that with Hunter on the way to school, asking him,
Mhm.
what's one thing that you're thankful for today? And just, I love hearing what he comes up with, just in conversation. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear what he may say. So I encourage you guys to, daily, I am going to start doing that in my planner. I'm going to start writing daily what I'm thankful for, because I need to keep my mind right. I need to keep my mind right and have it focused on the right things. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much generally what we had to say
Yeah.
today, don't you, Malcolm?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
during the Thanksgiving break, read Philippians. It's such a good
Yes,
book. It has a lot of the stuff we were saying comes out of that book, and so it's a short, 4 chapters. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, thing I'm thankful for just popped in. Um, yeah, we would love if you guys would like this video, if you would share it with someone who you think may enjoy it as well. We appreciate you guys. We're thankful for you that you watch us and that you tune in whenever you're able. If you have anything that you need from us or have any suggestions, anything you'd like to hear, any topics you'd like to hear us chat about, we would love it if you'd send us a message. If you have a prayer request or anything like that, we are always here for you guys, and we hope that y'all have a great Thanksgiving, a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see y'all again next week.
Bye.
Bye.